A proper 12 smooth move of the month, and it's Alex Pereira. His incredible knockout over Jamahal Hill. Volk, your thoughts on what took place?
Yeah, it was obviously that was one thing that we could all predict. It was probably going to be a knockout. I did have Pereira winning. Obviously, I like Jamahal Hill. I think he's great, but I just thought, yeah, I don't know if he rushed into that one. I don't know if he was injured, but they needed a main event and he come in. I don't know. And I just thought that kickboxing and composure from Pereira will be enough to capitalise on an opportunity that might come his way. And there was a bit of a opportunity for him, obviously, with all that happened. I think that could have played a part. I don't know what you think about that, but I'm not saying he won because of that, but did that throw Jamahal Hill off a little bit? You know, that's what I want to know. Like 1 second you're there as, oh, I must be stopping. And next minute he's coming at you, then you sort of want to panic punch. Yeah. And then your reaction's like, oh no, I better just fire back because you was that, you know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean. I feel like you're expecting a little break and you're expecting for a little time for you guys to separate because of that nut shot. But then he's just like, no, don't worry about it. And then he's all of a sudden stepping into your space. And because he stepped into your space, you want to throw something. Yeah. Obviously, you're like, oh, I don't want him to just enter my space. And that was just a perfect counter for Pereira to go.
Exactly right. Well, because you think about it, if that didn't happen, was he, staying back, waiting for the right time to counter, waiting for the right time? You know, he's got a read on his movement. All of that sort of stopped for a second, then all of a sudden he's in your face. So now that sort of calculation in the steps and drawing them in.
That mental switch.
It sort of goes, and it could have played. Like, I'm not taking nothing away from Alex Pereira, but I'm just saying, did that throw? I know Jamahal touched on it, but maybe it did. I still had Pereira winning that. I thought he would be able to find it, but whether that played a part, I don't know.
So is that good work from Alex Pereira, or is that a miscalculation from Jamahal Hill?
That's just Alex Pereira, man. Nothing phases that bloke. He's like, oh, yeah, no, get out of my way. I've got a job to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's whether he did it on purpose because he knew he could, just sort of rattle his opponent. He's good like that, mate. He really is. I remember seeing him, I think it was with Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya was trying to tell the crowd, chill. And then he's like, he's like boosting them up. Like, he's just... Even though he's just this stone-cold killer that just, you think he just, you would think that he doesn't have a personality the way he's just like this, but he's got a lot of character and he plays these games, you know what I mean? And he's good at them.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a bit of both. He's him switching off because he thought there's going to be a break, but then also Alex being like, I don't care, I'm going to get in your face. Like he said, he's one of those guys that just, as soon as the bell goes, he's in your face and he's pressuring you. And even if he's not throwing anything or striking towards you, you just feel like there's this pressure that you have to do something. And that's what creates the mistakes from his opponents. That's why he usually gets a knockout, because these guys panic and then they overthrow, like he said, and they get hit and that's it.
Well, like what you're saying, that's his game, right? That's Alex Pereira's game. Is to get in your face and draw punches out of you. Yeah. Maybe he thought this is a good opportunity to do that. Maybe he's like, I'm going to get in his face, knowing that his reaction will probably be that. I mean, he's a clever dude. He knows how to fight. Maybe he did that on purpose. If he did, that's impressive.
Well, guys, speaking of knockouts and speaking of UFC 300, it's time now for our Musashi knockout moment. And what else could it be? Max Holloway taking out Justin Gaethje. What was we saw your reaction, Volk, but this was absolutely insane, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, it was, especially when he was clearly winning. Which also, as I said, when I was talking to people, I was surprised by how no one really, when you talk to people, they thought he didn't stand a chance. And I was like, I don't know how you think that. I definitely think he's in for a chance and he can get it done. And then he was well ahead. You didn't think?
No.
So, well, there you go, I did. And he was well ahead. And then BMF points to the ground and does that anyway. Like, it just shows you what type of guy Max Holloway is. And then to get a knockout last 10 seconds, who would have picked that? I picked him winning, but I didn't pick him knocking him out.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
All right. If he was to do that to you when you were winning the first fight every single round comfortably and he pointed to the ground like this, would you have accepted that little point to the ground?
He did do that. He did do that.
He did?
So he stood there. I'm like, oh, all right, come on then. But I'm not going to swing carelessly like that. So he's like, he sort of did. He's like, come on, we'll go. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever, let's do it. But I was like, I stayed there, but I'm not just going to close my eyes and just brawl, you know what I mean? Like, because I have to be a little bit calculated. It's just not in my nature to just go so careless. But after seeing him do that back-to-back, I think he did. Did he do that with Zombie as well?
No, Zombie's the one.
Zombie just
started going. He's like, come on,
so he's done it a couple of times. I mean, even he ended up getting Arnold Allen
in the last 10
Yeah,
years.
It was Arnold
I
Allen
thought
just-
Arnold was winning that until that moment.
And then Arnold Allen just started going, and then he, I think Max
him.
ended up dropping
Catching
him.
him,
So I
yeah,
mean,
dropped
he's,
him.
he's doing well with these point of the ground or moments or these brawling moments. So maybe stay away from it, like what Masvidal said. He goes, if he points to the ground, be the Olympic sprinter and run off. Like, I could never run off, but I mean, don't just engage and throw everything out the window, especially if you're winning. But Max Holloway, he's a BMF, and he did that, and you can't do anything but praise him for it.
Yeah. Well, I might flip the question, Josh. If Max Holloway is doing that to you, what are you
Oh
doing?
man, like if they're, on UFC 300, they're giving away a 300K bonus.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
like just for you to point down 10 seconds, 300K for 10 seconds. All right, Max, we'll do it for 10 seconds. I'll close my eyes. We just swing.
I mean, it's with Justin Gaethje when Max did, of course, it's like I'm losing. Oh, yeah, I'll take this opportunity. So that's if you're in that situation and the guy that's pointing to the ground is winning, you're gonna go for it. You're gonna take it, right?
I feel like now Max has created a culture where like whenever we hear the clapper now, it's just gonna be like, oh, hey. Is it a gentleman's agreement to be like, we're going to go in the middle and just...
The thing is, we
or
might
is everyone
see...
going to point and be like, I ain't doing it.
We might see like losing fighters do that. Like, let's just swing and hope for a miracle. But the fact that Max was winning that 5-0 on many scorecards was what was insane about it.
Exactly right. That's why it's going to be a memorable moment on one of the biggest card ever. And it was a massive fight, BMF on the line. Him winning just the whole... You couldn't picture that, or you couldn't script that any better for the man. You know what I mean? So again, obviously I've got this massive rival with Max Holloway, having to fight him 3 times, but I'm happy for the bloke. You know what I mean? Like he's a great fighter. He got to showcase his skills because a lot of people were counting him out, which I just don't understand. I always knew that he still had them skills. Like he was still getting better through our rivalry. I still thought he was. If he was getting better, he was still in his prime. I knew that. Where a lot of people thought he was declining. I was like, no, that's not the case. And he showed you that's not the case.
That's what I heard on an interview, is that he was saying that like people think he was over the hill because he's lost to you. But like he's 31 or 32, so he's still in his prime. He's still in his athletic prime. So, and plus with all the experience and knowledge that he has now, going through how many fights he's gone through, like he's just getting better. So
exactly. I think you're finding that he's fighting that little bit smarter as well. So
well.
It's funny because he did that the whole fight, and then last 10 seconds wanted to throw it all away. But I mean, if you that's what I mean, where he didn't just, he used to be more of a volume fighter, stay in your face and beat you with the volume and pressure you that way and make you make mistakes. We're taking the risk of being hit. Where now he's not like that. He'll make you miss. He'll get angles. He'll do all this sort of stuff. And I noticed that through our rivalry that he was starting to do that. And then obviously didn't work well against me, but with other fighters, you could see him really using them tools really well. And I thought that was going to be the case in this one.
Would you fight him a 4th time?
Would I fight him? I mean, now that he's got a BMF, we might have to do this, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see what happens.
Damn.
at 145 or 155? 155.
Yeah, 155. You may as well. You don't have to.
Right? Any weight, anywhere.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, that like again, I was always sitting there, like, how could you do it? But maybe there is that something there that could be, there's a BMF now. Maybe that could, like for me, it's like 3 and 0. How can you get yourself out of bed for that? A BMF is something that I haven't touched before, so
legacy.
Maybe we can do that, So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's look ahead then to this weekend.
Maybe something's already come to me from her. I don't know.
What, really?
Nah, no.
You're a Gia. You're a Gia.
Well, wait a minute. You did
to start rolling.
Stitch me up. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's take a look ahead to the main card for UFC 301 this weekend. It's Paul Craig's 3rd fight at middleweight as he takes on the surging Caio Borralho. Ihor Potieria steps in on late notice against Michel Pereira, who's on a hell of a tear. 7 wins in a row now for him. The undefeated Vitor Petrino takes on a veteran in Lionheart Smith. The King of Rio returns against Jonathan Martinez, who's on a 6-fight winning streak, before Steve Erceg looks to bring a 3rd UFC belt to our shores.
Fighting out of Perth, Western Australia, Steve Astro Boy Erceg.
The UFC Championship means so much because it's like the pinnacle. It's a testament to show that you're a bad man. I want to be the toughest guy God ever put on the earth. So that means, fight for the UFC belt, win the UFC Flyweight Championship. The people of Australia motivate me greatly. I mean, I have a great pride in being Australian, being from Perth, and I want to prove that Australians in general are tough. have dangerous submission. I do have good striking. I'm not weak anywhere. I definitely believe I'm the best flyweight in the world right now. If you look at the guy who's supposed to be the best in the world right now, Pantoja, he looks sloppy, he's wild, and he gets away with it because he is tough. I'm willing to take it away from him. Robert Whittaker and Alexander Volkanovski, they're both great champions, great role models. Definitely inspiration for me. It'd be absolutely amazing to be part of that class. Just thinking about my name next to those guys would be absolutely surreal and feel like a dream almost.
UFC 301, live and exclusive on your undisputed home of UFC Main Event.